Right, yes.
Have you ever had the chance of seeing Ross Noble live? If you haven't, then you have missed a treat, because this kind of business, not actual fighting with people, but this kind of wild improvisational stuff is what Ross does better than anyone else.
Thank you very much.
Do you write material or do you just go out and wing it?
No, every night I just find somebody in the audience and punch them.
Yeah.
No, it's, you know what, I just kind of, it's more fun, isn't it, just to kind of see what happens, really?
But you must have an idea what you're going to do. You must have a kind of structure to the evening.
No, but what happens is I think you can kind of have an idea of what you want, or you can just, in life, that's the best way to be.
Yeah,
just
relax, go with it.
Just, yeah,
go
just, you know, like, I mean, sometimes it does get out of control, like fighting people on telly, but, like, I did this gig, right, you mentioned Latitude, your kids are going to Latitude Festival. I was doing the Latitude Festival, and I thought it'd be a bit of a laugh. There was a lot of vegan, a lot of vegan stalls, you know, and I wanted a sausage roll. You know, when you just, the more you say vegan, vegan, you go sausage roll, and so I said to the audience, I went, for a bit of a laugh, let's just all go out now. There's about 3,000 people in the audience. I said, let's form a queue at the vegan stall, and then the first person, so it snakes right off, and the first person just goes, excuse me, mate, got any sausage rolls? No, it's vegan. Oh, and then move off. And then the next person, excuse me, mate, got any sausage rolls, right? And
so a conga line of sausage-hungry people. Yeah.
So the audience all went, yeah, let's do it, because they were clearly deprived of meat. And so I said, let's do it. So I said, exactly that, let's lead a conga. Let's go out of this tent and let's have a conga down there, and we'll go up and do. The trouble is, I don't know if you ever led a conga that's over 2,999 people. It's sort of, people don't adhere to the usual conga rules. Yeah. You know, traditionally...
So what were they doing?
Well, what happened was, I started to conga out of the tent, and everyone was, you know, everyone's congregated, but people were like, I want to do it, I want to join the queue. Yeah. So I started congaing, and then we went off around the festival site, and I looked around, and instead of the traditional single-file conga scenario, it was about 100, 200 wide. and the mass, as I was congaing, it turned into a bit of a... And I was on a wave of people just going... and he starts picking up, and I was at this spot, I'm swept along, right? But the worst thing is we were going at such speed, I could see the vegan tent coming. And I'm thinking, if I don't slow this down, right, provide some sort of stopping mechanism, we're going to hit this thing at some speed, right? Yeah. So I turned quickly, right? Well, of course, they all turned with me, right? So now we're just... And I can't slow it down, because the weight of the... And more people now are just... They're just standing around watching music, and they go, oh, look, there's 3,000 people. Let's join them. So now, right, we've got... And I'm looking for somewhere to go, because there's things everywhere. And at one point, right, there was like a jazz fusion band, right, on this stage. And they were all like... And I came running across. It was quite a Ponzi festival, right? And there's a guy, and he was sat there, and he was drinking wine, and he had some cheese and biscuits like that, right? And he just turned and looked, and he just sees me at the front of this wave of just people flying down, right? And we came through, right? We hit that vegan stand like you wouldn't believe. The thing rocked backwards like that. And instead of people forming a line, right, this mob of 3,000 people just start going, sausage roll, sausage roll, sausage roll, sausage roll, right?
That's horrible. That's a horrible thing to do.
But the best thing was...
Poor vegan.
The best thing about this was they're all surrounded him, and the thing starts rocking, and this poor vegan is just standing there, and he just goes, I don't know what you want. Sausage roll, sausage roll. But, you know, so why not, you know, live your life? Why not?
Why not terrorise a vegan?
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Ross, let me say, you've just come back from Australia. The reason why I ask you is I've never been to Australia.
Have you not?
No, and I've often thought about going.
This show's on there
I've never been to Australia. Yeah, so they tell me. I've never been there. And I think...
You're worshipped as a god in the street.
Is it a lovely place to go?
It's an amazing
Would I enjoy
place.
it? Where should I go? And indeed, why have you then come back from it?
Well, right. I'll answer your question, the four-part question you've asked, in a four-part answer.
Well, I had a gap. I had to get some interview out of you. I had to get in quickly.
You just read all the questions down. So, Ross, you had an amusing experience as a child. Tell us a little bit about your latest DVD. That's the way to conduct an interview.
No, it isn't.
Read out a list of questions and then just go off and have a thing. No, it's an amazing place. It's just...
Whereabouts were you?
I was in, gigging all over, but...
No, where did you live, though?
I lived just outside Melbourne. Out in the country. I decided to become some kind of farmer, so I bought this ranch. Because I'm the, I'm
farming
the
type.
Look at me. I've got farmer written all over me. Yeah, it was the oddest tattoo they'd ever given. I bought this farm, and I had this ranch, and I was out there, and then there was a big bushfire, and it all burst into flames.
So you
and,
literally, you lost your house?
Yeah, my house and everything I owned and the whole lot, and it was pretty... you know what I learned, right? If you do, and God forbid this ever happens to you, literally lose everything you have, right? Don't try and lift your wife's spirits, right? Afterwards, when you're standing in the rubble and everything. Don't do this. Don't turn to your wife and go, you do realise that, strictly speaking, this now means I'm sleeping with a homeless woman. Like, it doesn't, like, no, funny, yes.
Yeah.
Appropriate, not so much.
No, not at the time.
So we decided to, we thought, oh, where should we live? I know, somewhere that doesn't burst into flames.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we moved.
So you've moved back here to the UK?
Yeah, just moved back.
All right, but you loved Australia, because
yeah.
I know, what's this, you went to, I mean, obviously you toured, you did comedy there.
Yeah.
But with your bike tour, this
Yeah.
Australian trip you made, which is out now.
Yeah, on DVD.
Okay, so
all
is that,
good retailers.
okay, this was to go on tour, or you just wanted to see the country and film it? What was
No, I do as many of my... Are you watching?
Yeah,
oh, I see you're looking at the thing.
a nice picture.
Excellent. I honestly thought that one of your producers had donned lycra and some kind of wrestling mask and was going... But I'd be ready.
You know what?
I'm
going to come round. I'm going to wait for about a month, and I'm going to come round to your house late at night, dressed as a wrestler, and break in and see if I can have my way with you in a wrestling manner.
But you know what would happen? You'd be creeping in, and like you'd turn the lights on, and I'd already be there, waiting, dressed as a wrestler. Ah, Jonathan, you have arrived.
I've been expecting you for a month.
Yeah. That'd be good, wouldn't it? If I opened a cupboard and you jumped out, not now, Jonathan! It's kind of gone, it's gone a bit dread. You're not well, are you?
No.
It's never a good sign when you're doing an interview and you actually rub your eyes as if to go, why?
No, I'm just thinking, I know you'd love us to show us a clip, and there's no way of me getting to showing a clip, because as soon as you don't want to show a clip of anything, people would like to see your... Wouldn't you like to see a bit of your... There you go. Have a look, here you go, this is the clip. Well, he seems like a genuine eccentric.
Yeah. That bloke there, it's Crawle Castle. He's called Keith Rawle, and he bought this place here. He bought a potato farm in Australia and decided he wanted to be a king, and he built the castle. But he can't, like, he hasn't got the money to buy proper exhibits for the thing, so he just gets waxworks. He got this waxwork of Charles Bronson and dressed him as a doctor and said it was a medieval medical display.
So it's open to the public. Is that what it is? It's like an attraction.
It's a theme park, but it's like a theme park where they've spent no money on it at all.
Are you doing any live stuff? Is that what you're doing
Yes,
now?
I've got a tour coming up, so come along, and I'll bring this with me.
You know,
you can rub it for luck.
A couple of weeks ago... There's an incentive. A couple of weeks ago on the radio show, I had Barry Cryle, and I'm sure you know Barry Cryle. He's one of the greats of British comedy. He's written for everyone. And I said to him, is there anyone you really like, any young talent at the moment? And he said, you know, the one who I think has really got what it takes is Ross Noble.
God bless
He said, a
Uncle
genuine,
Barry.
Original voice, a very funny man, and I think, you know, if it comes from Barry...
He's brilliant, Barry Cryer, and I love him even more for saying that.
Well, he said it, and he meant it. Ladies and gentlemen,
It's been a
I think
pleasure.
you'll agree, he's one of the funniest men in the country. Mr. Ross Noble, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll see you in a minute.
이거 어떻게 됐어?